Okay, it's Chris with PhotoDabbler.com. In this video, we're just going to play around with the new Firefly beta. So firefly.adobe.com. If you don't have it yet, there'll be a little button up here that says Request Access. You just click on that and fill in your information. And it took about 9 days for me to get access. But anyways, all right, so there's a bunch of different things that we can try out. But for this video, we're just going to try out the text to image maker. So basically, you would just go here and click on generate. And down here, you can type in a prompt, or you can kind of look through these examples of what's been created, and like glowing river in a cave, and you can just click try prompt. And it will just fill it in here. But I already have one that I selected, so I'm just going to paste it in here. It's playing poker with bulldogs and leather jackets, highly detailed art with a smoky background, and we'll click generate, and it will do its magic. Alright, so we have these four options here that we can play around with. Now, I actually added some styles here. So like on your right hand side, you have you can change aspect ratios, landscape, portrait, square, or widescreen. Widescreen, portrait, I use all four of them, but anyways, you can pick that out as you wish. And then you have this section here that has styles. Alright, so you can click on all and just go through. There's a ton of different styles that you can use. Let's see what we picked on this one. I picked art, hyper-realistic, digital art, and dramatic lighting. So hyper-realistic, digital art, dramatic lighting. Let's go to our movements. So digital art, hyper-realistic, and where is it? Maybe it's in themes. Hyper-realistic, digital art, and then what was the other one that I picked? Maybe it was in concepts. Let's look. Dramatic lighting. Oh, we changed the lighting. Anyways, all right. So down here you have a couple different options here. Color and tone. You can change colors and stuff. We can go vibrant and etc. Lighting. I'm going to change this to the dramatic lighting, and then composition. You can change the blurry backgrounds, close-ups, wide angles, etc. Just experiment with those. But I'm just going to leave it at this, and we'll go ahead and hit generate. And it's going to bring our results in just a few seconds, really. So we have these pretty cool things. Now, what you have to watch out for a lot of times is right now, hands, paws, and fingers and stuff don't really turn out too great. This turned out pretty good. This is this one, and this is this one. We got some weird stuff going on up here with around the eyes and stuff, but this one has some weird eyeballs going on. Alright, but anyways, let's go back. Probably this one is probably the best one. So the first one it came up with, and we can go to this, and there's a couple different options that you can play around with here. So we can go show similar. So if we click on that, it's going to take this image and make 3 more that are similar to this. And it'll just take a few seconds. So now we have this, and I might like this one. Yeah, this one looks cool too. So we can download these now. So there's up here there's a little download button. You just click on download, and it will it comes up with like a warning that says we're going to tag this with our creative or Firefly kind of like watermark. Do you agree? Whatever. You can turn that message off. But anyways, so I downloaded it. We can play around with these a little bit more. Let's go to this one again, and maybe use this as a reference image. So let's click on use as a reference image, and then we can clear out this prompt here. Let's backspace, and I'll just put let's see, a deck of playing cards, and I'm going to hit generate and see, and then we'll kind of use this prompt but with this as a kind of our style. So we have our deck of playing cards, and it looks okay. It's kind of kind of tweaked out a little bit. So let's go up here and let's slide this more towards the prompt, and it'll go ahead and regenerate it. Okay, I don't know what kind of playing cards these are, but it's not working out too well. If we go all the way to the prompt, it'll probably do a little bit better. Let's see. All right, a little bit better, but it's not really working too well. Maybe we could use these and just kind of cut out the background. I wonder what happens if we did transparent background. I haven't tried this before, so this is a first. Let's go ahead and see what happens. I don't think it worked, but anyways, all right. So let's go back to our reference image. Let's go all the way to the reference image and see what happens. You can kind of play around with this slider, and will give you a little different results. So it'll take your prompt and kind of slide to whatever reference image you're doing and kind of use the same type styles. Alright, so I think it's getting worse. Let's put it in the middle. Well, that did some weird stuff there. Slide it some more, see what happens. It's all about trial and error, right? Slide it some more, see what happens. Okay, these aren't really coming out too good. Let's clear our styles. So click on clear styles, and then maybe let's switch it to photo. See what happens. A little better results, but let's go all the way to prompt only. There we go. Look at those. Okay, so these are these cards here. Let's take out transparent background. Enter. And then we can play with whatever comes up. Alright, so pretty good result right here. So we could do this one and click on show somewhere. I play around with the show somewhere a lot in the reference image. So I don't know. This guy almost had us straight. If this jack was a 10, he'd be in business. All right. So, anyways, we can add our little stuff to it now. Let's go to materials, concepts. Let's do chaotic. Let's do a painting. Let's do steampunk, because you never know when you need a deck of playing cards steampunk style. Let's see what happens now. Those are pretty cool. Alright, but anyways, alright, so we're gonna be done playing. I like the results that I got on this one here. So we'll take these over into Photoshop and play some more. Okay, so once you have your image that you want to play around with, just go ahead and drop it into Photoshop, and here we have our two bulldogs playing poker. We probably want to do maybe some camera raw to start off with, so we'll go into our camera raw filter and play around with some colors and stuff. Add a little clarity, probably maybe some texture, your own personal choices, obviously. So if we come into here and hit auto, it's going to do its auto adjustments, which does actually a really good job for the most part. I'm just going to add a little bit of texture, a little bit of clarity in here, and the vibrance is 20. Let's click our saturation to 0. So that is pretty cool right there, and we'll go ahead and leave it there. Now I want to go into color grading and add some orange in the highlights. So we'll get this to like 39, and we'll bring our luminance up a little bit, and then we'll go into our balance and kind of tweak it out a little bit, maybe about right like so. And then maybe in our shadows, let's add some blue, so like in the 200 range. Add a little bit of saturation like here. I'm just trying to get a certain look. Bring our luminance down and kind of play around with the blending a little bit. Let's see. I think about right there is what I want. We'll go ahead and hit OK. Now I want to add a couple of gradients over here. So let's go up to our mask button here. And we can just click on linear gradient. That's fine. I'm going to drag one down like so. And I want to bump up the exposure a little bit. And maybe a little bit more than that. 125, and then add some orange into it like so. And I think that's good. And then we'll go ahead and right click on this one and duplicate this mask here. And let's turn it. Where's my turny thing? We'll turn it over here. And then we'll drag it up into this corner like so. Maybe right here. Let's turn it a little bit more. Okay, do we like that? Let's go ahead and see. Alright, yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright, let's go into our effects and maybe add just a little bit of grain and a little bit of vignette around negative like 12 or something. That looks good. Alright, so we have our before and our after, just a really quick color grade. To taste, of course. And it's going to apply this camera raw filter. So now we have this. And we have a couple of things going on. So I made this in 8x10. Okay, so we have these black things here that we can play with. Let's go ahead and make a copy of this. I'm going to Control or Command J. I'm going to right click and I'm just going to rasterize it. And then what I'm going to do is grab my marquee tool and select maybe this. Control T. Hold down Shift and we'll just drag it down like so. And it doesn't matter what it looks like for what I'm doing. We'll grab this one and then let's come up here and we'll grab this because we're going to blur the crap out of this anyways. Control T, hold down Shift and we'll just extend this up like so. And hit Enter. And Control D to deselect. Alright, so we have our background kind of like this. What we want to do now is I'm going to convert this back to a smart object and go up into Filter, Blur Gallery, and we're going to go with Iris Blur. And I want to make this a little bit larger, so we'll drag up on the handles. My computer's like tweaking out. There it is right here. Maybe about like so, and let's see, do we want more? That's too much. Maybe less. Less is more sometimes. Alright, we're going to leave it on about 8 and we'll go ahead and hit OK. And it's going to add that iris blur. Okay, so once we have that, we're going to do a couple different tweaks. We're going to, let's do just rasterize this layer. And then underneath it, I'm going to add a solid color of black. Hit OK, and then we're going to click back on our image. And I'm going to grab this elliptical marquee tool and kind of drag out an ellipse about like so. And then go into our select menu, transform selection, and I'm going to rotate this a little bit, like maybe about like so, maybe make it a little bit bigger, kind of like so. And we'll go ahead and hit enter, and then I'm going to hit the mask button. Okay, and then I'm going to go up to feather and get in about 100 and something, see what happens. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more, kind of like so. So we have that look, and that is basically about it. I think I may do a little bit in the curves. Let's do a curves, and let's see if we can tweak out these eyes a little bit. So we're going to bring this up like so, and then let's invert our mask, and then let's make this bigger. And we'll grab a B for brush and put it on white. We'll just kind of do a couple dots in their eyeballs, like pow. pow, 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 like so. And then maybe bring the opacity down just a touch. Let's see what that looks like before, after. That's a good look. Alright, so Control minus. I think we're about done here. Let's go ahead and grab our original one here, and we're going to make a copy of this. Control J, and we'll hit Control or Command Shift in the right bracket to bring it all the way to the top. We'll add a layer. Sorry about my phone. We'll add a layer mask here and invert it. And then we'll grab our little brush on white, and we'll just kind of bring in our, let's bring our flow down. We'll kind of bring in our little copyright image, not for commercial use, whatever, from Adobe. And I think that will do it. We'll go ahead and export it out. Are we done with it? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe let's add some other stuff. Let's add a little bit more color here. I have this orange selected. Let's go ahead and do a new layer, and maybe do a little bop and a little bop here, and then drop down the opacity like so. Do we like that? Yeah, that added a little bit of stuff. Oh yeah, one more thing. Let's add a new layer. Let's hit D to bring back our black, and we'll just kind of add some black under here like so. Fade it out like that. I think I like that. We'll go ahead and go File, Save, a copy. Go into my desktop, my photo dabbler photo, my Firefly play around, and we'll save this as a JPEG, and we'll do this as Bulldogs Playing Poker V3 because I've been playing, and we'll go ahead and hit save. And there you have it. I think that will do it. Image options, quality 12. I'll go ahead and do it at the highest option, and maybe I'll print this out and put it on my wall art. So what have you created with Firefly? Leave a comment in the comment section below, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one. Thank you.